Hi, welcome to RAO-SAN Tennis, the podcast. Here, we deep dive into the topics like the stories, the strategies, and the science behind the sport. I am Lakshman Raj, your host for today's podcast. In India, we had many legends like Ramesh Krishnan, Ramnatha Krishnan, Leander Paes, Mahesh Bhupathi, Sania Mirza, and so on, who has taken tennis to a global map. Now, one question strikes us. Where are the next ones? We can't see any Indians on the second week of the Grand Slam. What takes India to rise up to that level again? To unpack this answer, we have Suresh Kumar Sonachalam Sir with us. He is the director of Chennai Tennis Center. He is an elite level 3 IDF coach and he is an expert and tutor for the International Tennis Federation. Hi, sir. We are very glad to have you here.
Hi, Laksh.
Yes, sir. Sir, like 90s and 20s era was very, what to say, it is golden era for us. We had many tennis players. Like we had Mahesh Bhupathi, Leander Paes, and Sania Mirza everywhere. But now it is totally quiet. What do you think about it, sir?
Well, it's not quiet. We are not making much noise at the singles at the top level. But a lot of things are happening at the lower level, which is not attracting the media's attention much. But the number of players who are actually going out and competing in the futures has gone up like 5-6 times now. I think about 50-60 players who are playing futures on a regular basis. This is not the case. During my playing days, there was hardly like 3 or 4 players who go up and play international circuit. But things are changing, and then the quality of tennis has gone up. The number of players who play a high level tennis is also gone up. And there are a few things that needs to catch up. And these things fall in base. Then it's just a matter of time before we have some top professionals, these Grand Slam champions coming up in there.
If I have a kid who's going to play tennis and he wants to become a pro, so what is the process, a roadmap, how it begins?
And see, tennis is a complicated. Yeah. And now you talk about the question, it's like a really, why is it not a fair best topic? And to try to give you a briefing of how it is that when you start off, you just let them play short chess. And you need to start above, right? And you need to start the age of 6, 7. And then for the next 3 or 4 years, you just allow them to develop the passion post. So you make them compete, you make them go have fun in the sports. And then after the age of 10 or 11, you start to specialize. They decide that. And till the age of 10, they shouldn't play just chess. If you are looking at top players of international standard, they need certain athletic abilities and certain ways of thinking for you to perform at the highest level. Right? So at this age, from say 6 to 10 or 7 to 10, these kids can play in multi just to develop all the qualities, the athletic qualities you need at the highest level. Like hand-eye coordination, everything's. You're talking about one small aspect of the physics. That's why I said it's a vast topic. And there's so many skills. To put it broadly, the perception skills, how we read the situation, how you read the pawn for the ball, and how you coordinate in movements for getting positioning. These reception skills develop at that age. Yeah. And after the age of 10 or 11, they can choose ones like this. And tennis is a late specialization. If you take a sport like gymnastics or ice hockey or the tennis, the kids can start specializing there. But tennis is a sport that you need the entire skeletal structure to be at a certain stage for them to be able to develop the skills that they need. And it doesn't happen pretty. Only at the age of 10 or 11, they can start to say, okay, I want to become a tennis player, I want to become a professional, and then they start. Right? And you need to make a 10-year plan where there's something called long-term athlete development. So basically, at the development age of each player, when they're going up, different age, they have different aspects of fitness, which they are really adaptable to. Like, for example, to this you'll understand. You know how children learn language? till the age of 5?
Yes, sir. From we start from A, B, C, D.
No. If you put them in a new language, okay, they just absorb it like a sponge.
Huh.
Have you noticed that?
You can grasp it easily.
Much easier because they attack the way they learn is very different that age. Till the age of 7, it's very easy for them to learn a new language. After the age of 7, they already kind of started to think in one language. It could be Tamil, it could be English. They start to think in that. Now, you introduce another language. It kind of comes through this language. They start to understand it through another. It's not directly. They use it as a medium. Yes. And that slows down the entire process. So they want to do like that. If you want to develop speed in a person, the first window of opportunity is what they call the window of opportunity is between the age of 5 and 6. My chances for boys and girls is, right? So if you train speed at that age, the amount of input, how they adapt to that, the central nervous system, and it adapts to their muscular reaction. Every years that they have, it cuts. At that age is more of the central nervous system than the muscular system. Or the skeletal structure starts to form during that puberty. So about the biological development, yes. So I'm talking about one aspect, speed. And there's a second window which happens between 11 and 30 for girls and 13 to 50 for boys. I'm not sure what the exact is it. And that's a second window. Now, you need to develop speed if you want to work on speed. You have to use these windows of opportunity. If you don't do it during that time, you can develop it later, but you never reach the height you could have reached if you're done during that period.
Like effectiveness differs.
So for the same person,
Yes.
you could have reached the speed level if you're done during that period. If you're taken advantage,
Considered like the golden period.
exact.
Like we will observe it and develop more faster and much fast way.
Yeah.
If you miss that age, the process will behave like correct.
And so you need to make a plan, which is we need to look at what you need to be at the highest level and then start to work on those aspects, specific routines. Right? And these are things that we need. And then you have a 10-year period. And the 10-year period, you plan the development. You create the pathway from this. Now, how far they reach, where they go, it is very easy to see. But to create the pathway is our job.
After hearing this, I don't think that many people follow the systematic approach in India. Like they want to become there, but they're not choosing the right place. I feel.
Yeah, when you talk about that, what is a systematic approach? Like, let us say I said, you need to work on speed at the age of 5, 6. Now, how do you work on it? You don't go and say, okay, come, let's do sprints. Okay, sprint faster, you're clocking this much time. That is not how you work. You run and click. I'll catch you, you run, and he catches. Or you have this fun games that you organize, their speed is involved. You are making them learn through activities. Yes, it takes regimented training starts up the age, right? And then you need to make a structure for their competition pathways and when they play what and how much government they need to pay, how much of training needs to be done, how they balance studies. So it requires a 10-year plan. I mean, even of 10-year plan.
Like it should be a dedicated thing, sir. To be a tennis player, a plan, everything should be dedicated, or can be chosen in the many, sir. Okay, he's between 10 days like that.
See, if you want to achieve world standards in any field, be it music, be it sport, be it athletics, there has to be a plan. So if you won't make a plan, then that's what they say, right? If you don't plan, then you're planning to fit. Yes.
Famous sayings, sir. There. Like after this, sir, they are getting started into tennis, and only the practice is not going to give them the results or take them to higher status. Obviously, they should start expose their performance at tournaments level where they gain the points, gain their ranking, that exposure, like where they face the losses and they improve. Like, what do you think about the Indian pathways to become a good tennis player? Like they start with high talk.
This is coming back from the same question that you asked, right? Why aren't we seeing top players at the international? So I gave you the answer that it is not true that tennis is going down. just because we don't have those one or two players who are performing at the highest level, doesn't mean the tennis itself is going out the cut. The tennis is developed to improve. And once in a while, we have a star player coming out and performing. And that period, you look at it as what tennis was do, because you focus only on that, right? Now, if you want to have many players coming out repeated organically, you want a lot of players like how the top tennis big countries, Spain and France.
US, they have quality tennis players. Spain, obviously, that clay court players. Like that, if we want India to be in that list, what to do?
That's again a major topic. There are too many things that comes. And I get asked this question very often: why are the players performing at that kind of level? And people generally blame to this. One, they say that genetically we are not built like that. And the second thing, they say that we don't have the coaching infrastructure to train them at Tech 2. These are the two main things that people think is the problem. But I, as an expert, as someone who's dealing with skill for like 3 decades, I don't think so. See, first of all, when you talk about genetics, I don't think we are laggy in any way behind Indians. Beach race has its, a little bit of difference here and there. But if you look at the average, it's not true. Yeah. If you talk about the immediate parents, like if I want to be, I be in sports, and if I want my child to get into tennis, she will gain something from my trade.
But she has to build on it. The way they are be of their rocks. So it takes, the fitness and the quality, if you want to really go to the highest quality, it takes a very long time. Fitness takes a long time for the body to adapt, to express itself in that level. So it is not just in one generation. Is it possible to reach that level? No. Depends on where you started. And if you had your parents who have been involved in sport and the grandparents, or if you had drawn that genetics, make them like hereditary and just the others, there you're starting off here. And then you build on it, you get to another way. Right? And it has nothing to do with race. It is not like Indian based here, the loads. That is not. It's been proven, scientifically proven this is not true. And you can also see that there are players in javelin and sprinters are coming out in here. So this Neeraj Chopra Pasting is coming to the athletic event and he's placing medals in the women's. Yes. And that too, a sport where it requires rock power. When has to do base was like training and dedication, proper guidance. That's not what you do. Yes. So genetics is one thing. The second thing that I was talking about was the coaching politics. And I said, when in my playing days, we had coaching in Tamil Nadu. There were only 2 cities which offered. One was in Shell, other one private. When I was playing. And before that, there was no coaches also. It was only markers who were coaches. Right? What I mean by markers is people who are not educated, or people who are doing the port work, who could play digital tennis. These were the people who were training the test. But they were doing a fantastic job simply because they would just show what needs to be done. And they don't go and nitpick on the players. They don't get analytical. So they actually effective. But if you want to get to a higher level, then you need to educate yourself. You need to have scientific knowledge. You need to have knowledge in various fields to be able to come. Like professionalism is totally different. Yes. And today, in every small town in Tamil Nadu, 2 tiers, 3 tiers. I've seen even in very small places where you don't have any other infrastructure, we have tennis courts and coaches. You go to any small town, it's a they have tennis. Yeah, today we have tennis coach, and these coaches have been certified, and they know some fundamentals and basics about how to work with children, how to communicate with them, and how to teach, and what is be taught, what is important that they learned all this. So into the exposure, yes. Now we have that the grassroots, is already some
So you have a lot of players participating. They have access to tennis balls. It is not too expensive how it used to be before you have to become a member in a club. It's very prestigious club, yeah, and everything was expensive. Today, it's people also can afford more, and the affordability of tennis has come. So,
Really lower middle class key. They are some rates for tennis pitch.
so like I said, this is a very vast subject, right? I only said I'd broken the bits or what people think for is the reason why players don't come up.
Like they can confidently pursue into tennis, not thinking about that they are not genetically kept. Can get into tennis by practice, hard work, confidence. They can get into the professional style.
And there's no dirt for poaching quality. To go from there this pay or pay.
And they rain abroad, they think, yeah, there is a good year.
And then they'll pick out one or two players who went there and made it to a reasonably play. But they don't take into account the hundreds of players who gone there and come back and
not improved at all in here. Yeah. Yes. And the reason is because they're not going to teach you something
that's completely different or higher or is the scientific knowledge as we have. It's all open.
Like I heard, sir, this game is totally about the repetition.
Yes.
To get what is of perfection.
Yes. What we call deliberate practice. And only with repetition, your brain learns how to do better. The thing is, you need to have clarity on what you want. And once you know, this is what, and I'm developing this style. And at the ATP level, I need to be choosing shots like this. I need to be aggressive. I need to have a serve like this. When you identify and then you start to repeat it, and you get to the stage where the way your body allows you to, you'll get to that fight.